Okay, guys, so looking at question 4 of what we did in class, and last question we just did, we had the feasible region already graphed. All the inequalities were graphed, which gave us this feasible region right here, which we could find where they intersected each other to plug into this this objective function. So here we have an objective function and we have the constraints, which are the inequalities that we'll graph to hopefully find out where the intersection points are. So the first one we want to graph is x is greater than or equal to 0. It's the same thing as me just saying, hey, I'm going to graph x equals 0. X equals 0 is going to be a vertical line. It's going up and down where x equals 0. So this is where x equals 0. And if I look here, hey, that x value is 0. All of these along the y-axis have an x value of 0. So I'm just going to draw a straight line through x equals 0. And I want to shade all the values that are larger than 0. So if I were to do that, like 2 is bigger than 0. All these values are bigger than 0. So I'm going to shade this entire side right here. So anything on this side is a solution. I'm going to change my color. And what we're going to do next is we're going to graph y is equal to, or is greater than or equal to 0. So that's the same thing as saying, hey, all right, I want to graph y equals 0. That's going to go left to right. So I'm going to go where y equals 0, which is right here, and all of these values have a y value of 0. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line where y equals 0. It's going to go like that. Hopefully your line looks better than mine. And all the y values that are larger than 0, so these, 8 is larger than 0. The y value of 8 is larger than 0, so I'm going to shade all this right here. So right now, it looks like my solution area is all right here. Everything in quadrant 1 is a solution point. So now we got to do the other one. We got to graph the other line, 2x plus y. We're going to say, hey, 2x plus y equals 6. I'm going to subtract 2x. So you get y equals negative 2x plus 6. So this one has a y-intercept at 6. And the slope is negative 2 over 1. So that means I'm going to go down 2 to the right one, down 2 to the right one, down 2 to the right one. Okay, and then we'll go up 2 to the left one. So I get a line that looks like that. Okay, now I want to shade all the values that make this inequality true. So if I put 0 into the inequality, 2 times 0 plus 0, is that less than or equal to 6? Is 0 less than or equal to 6? Yes, that's true. So 0, 0 is the solution. So that means I'm going to shade this side of the line. And what I'm looking for is where my intersection is. Where do all three colors intersect? That's why I'm going to use a highlighter. And it looks like my intersection is this triangle right there. And I'm going to try to identify what those order pairs are. So I have one right there, one at 0, 0, and another one right there. So it looks like my solution area is 0, 6, 0, 0, and 3, 0. And what I'm going to do with each of those is plug it into my objective function. So I'm going to do 3 times 0 minus 6 gets me negative 6. 3 times 0 minus 0 gets me 0. And then 3 times 3 minus 0 gets me 9. So negative 6 is my smallest, so that means that 0, 6 is your minimum. And then 3, 0 is your max, because it gave me a maximum of 9. I hope this helps, guys, to help you do number 4 on the homework. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. I will be here. Thanks.